Can we hear now? Sorry, I just do apologise.
Yes, you're in. Let's go.
Right, can we hear now? Do apologise. Sorry, guys. Right. There we go. I managed to get the rest of the quality. I do apologise. Unfortunately, we're having serious technical difficulties. Don't know what's going on with it for some reason. But we are back. And
It's okay. It's perfect timing. Perfect timing.
it's perfect timing. Yeah, 4 minutes to go. This is where the suspense is. Sorry to all of our viewers. I know that you were tuning in and watching. If we can get you all back, do apologise. I'm just going to write a little message there. Do apologise. Was having stream difficult.
Right. Just while you're doing that, then, I'm just going to have a quick rundown. We're going to lose 4 drivers in this second qualification session. At this present moment in time, G-Force Nick is the man at risk with Zexify, Little Sheldon, Illyrian, and Lost Yuki, the cars that would currently be eliminated from Q2. Illyrian and Lost Yuki yet to set a lap and still sat in the pit lane with a little under or over 4 minutes left in Q2. Somebody who should be relatively safe, I would imagine, is the McLaren of Alpha Gully. Up there with a 127.2, 8 tenths quicker than Dark and Shadows and Jono. Strong showing again from the 2 Ferraris towards the top of these classifications. Illyrian and Lost Yuki yet to set out, but Zexify, he has invalidated. He's drifted himself back into the pit lane. That will put the Alpine in a little bit of trouble there, I think, SJ.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens next because, yeah, obviously they don't have long left, 3 minutes to go. I'm just going to look at the situation. He is in the pits at the moment, so he's going to probably come out and go for one more stint. He lost Yuki as well as on an outlap, so this will probably be his last hurrah as well. And Little Sheldon as well is going to have to push and trying to get into them 28s at the moment because every single other car, all the way from P1 down to P10 is in the 28s at the moment. So yeah, they're really going to have to push and see what they can do for the time being. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But this is it. This is crunch time. This is crunch time. Illian is still in the pits. Is he going to come out? Oh, doesn't look like it. We'll have to wait and see. 2 minutes and 19 to go. 1 minute 27 on the board. The only one in the 27. Stark doing a phenomenal lap there with a 128.080. Jono doing that 128.137. And there you go. There is Illian. He is coming out. So we've got G-Force Nick as well. We've got a few people on laps at the moment. Sounds like there's 2 SJs talking at the moment at the same time. No idea how that is, my friend. I am not going to mess around with any other issues. I've got screen shares. I've got all sorts going on. I'm just still going to make sure that we're good.
It sounded okay from my perspective, I think. Dragon is the next gentleman who he's on his way out of the pit lane now to throw down his final lap. He's only got 132 to get himself round and get himself set. He's at risk at the moment. Also on outlap, Zexify, Lil Sheldon, Illyrian, Lost Yuki on a lap. Let's just see what kind of time he's setting as he scurries through Sector 1, through turns 4, 5, and 6. The split is, as we'll get there in a second, the split's a 32-7. Nothing to compare it against from him. But he'll be looking to get into the mid-28s to try and be safe, with plenty of other drivers out on a lap at the moment. G-Force Nick had just gone 4th fastest, taking himself from the perils of P10 up into P4. Lil Sheldon has crashed. Turn number 4, is it? Yeah, looks like... no, he's crashed out at the end of that little sector. So the Aston Martin of Lil Sheldon is out of this qualification. He will not make Q3.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate there. We've also got 2 cars going on at the moment. We've got Illian and Lost Yuki. G-Force Nick has retired as well. Has he retired on the track? Just trying to see there what's going on there. We've got Yuki No, he's retired
in the pit.
All good, all good. No drama, no drama. Oh, there we go. Oh, we've got Lost Yuki. He's gone up to P10. So Dragon's pushed down into P11. He's on the lap. He's the last chance for him to try and get through. We've got Zesify as well. We've got Ilian as well. And Ilian is invalidated. Ilian is out. Ilian is, I think he's going to be out of quali. He is invalidated. He is out of quality. We've got Zesify as well, who was up on his time. Dragon, I don't know if he's up on his time as well. This is going to be close. It's between Dragon and Zesify for that last spot. As we've seen there, Alpha Gully, it's gone green for him. He is done and dusted. He is in P1 at the moment. Dragon has now invalidated. We've now got Zesify. Can Zesify knock Dragon? Well, can he knock Lost Yuki out of Q2 going into Q3? Let's have a look. Here we go. Coming around the last couple of corners. Is he up or down on this time? Fuel is low. He's 2 tenths up. Where's this going to put him? I don't think this is going to be enough. I don't think this is going to be enough.
Not enough. He needs another.
He's going to get a good toe. Is he going to get a toe off the RB? Oh, he's burning as much as he can. He's got a couple of corners. Oh, why isn't my quality? Who got kicked out? Was it Yuki?
Yeah.
I'm going to see if it's going to affect anything at the moment. Lost Yuki. Oh, that means we're going to have to...
Red flag.
It is going to be a red flag. Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going to have to get everyone back in. It's going to be okay. We're going to have to try it again. We're going to come back, but we are going to do, I think, a short quality. I think it's going to be a short quality, I think, and that's going to be it. So we'll be back very, very shortly as we have just lost the host. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We do apologise for the delay. Oh, there we go. There, I'm just checking an audio. There we go. Everything's working. Yeah, do apologise on the delay. Had a red flag, unfortunately, migrating host. And then Andy could not get in and was having a communication online service glitch problem. So it was taking a little bit longer than expected. But yeah, unfortunately, we have lost one driver that couldn't obviously wait for us to get it sorted. So didn't want to race, unfortunately. Best race I've seen yet. I've seen better, my friend. I know it's frustrating. But we do appreciate you guys staying with us. And it's just nothing we can do when this game is so shite. But we are back, and we are going to give you some serious commentating action from myself and Andy for this race, which everyone's going to get points, Andy, now.
Yeah, absolutely. We are back. Sorry for the delay, everybody. I had a minor communicating with online servers error, and I had to go through the secret button press of going through time trial and then having to accept. So I'm hoping that with this update that's happening on Monday, by the way, to the game, that they fix some of these glitches, SJ. But I'm not overly hopeful. I think they'll probably just stick a few liveries on. Blimey, O'Reilly, we're away.
We are 500 lights, and here we go! Round number 3 at Jeddah. And let's have a look at some tyres. Going into the first corner, here we go with Jono and Darkin leading the way. We've got Spinella and Darkin going side by side. Spinella goes there, has everyone going to take into turn number 1 and 2 as a double Ferrari in P1 and 2. Then we've got Spinella King in P3, Yuki Bear in P4, Minus in P5, Zesify in the Alpine in P6. Then we've got G4 Stick in P7. Is anyone going to go side by side into Sector 1? No, everyone keeping it clean. Sometimes they say the less the drivers, the better the race. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to happen with us tonight. But here we go. We've got 14 guys through, 2 guys on the hard compound tyres. As we've got the kick saber going around the outside of Lost Yuki. Gets that position. Sorry, that was Keith. My apologies. And we've got the kick saber in P9 and P10 at the moment. We've then got Lost Yuki in P11, Dragon in P12, Alpha Gully in P13, Chandler's in P14. Who he's going side by side with Alpha Gully. Yes, Kalki is 14 drivers, but there's not much we can do about it. But we've still got racing going on at the moment. Here we go. We've got Chandler's, and we've got Chandler's and Lost Yuki and Dragon. They're all going side by side. Are we going to see esports happening again? No, we're not. Then we still see. Oh, 2 go into the wall, and Dragon and Lost Yuki have a little bit of an incident together. And I think he's just reset the track. Oh my God, this guy does not read the rules. Back to you, Andy.
Yeah, all while that was happening at the back. Out in front, it is Ferrari all the way. Jono is beginning to check out. 1.3 seconds down the road from Dark and Shadow. Dark and Shadow does have Spinella King, though, on those hard compound tyres for company, managing to stick with this front 2 just about 6/10. Now, the gap between 3rd and 2nd. Really important for that hard tyre runner, SJ, to really stick with these 2 front guys. If he can stick with, certainly with Darker Shadow, he really gives himself a great opportunity here to be on that faster compound tyre towards the latter stages of this race. But he is beginning to struggle. He's just dropping over 1 second now. Is he going to be able to get it back before we hit the DRS marker in the middle of Sector 2? It's not looking like it's going to happen. He's trying to burn some battery to get himself back in. As Dark and Shadow, actually, has managed to catch up to the back of Jono now. So maybe Jono just taking his foot off that throttle ever so slightly to try and help his teammate get out of the clutches of the Red Bull Racing car, Spinella King, SJ.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he will bring that back, though, because he is on those hard compound tyres. So even though if he can keep that 1.3 second gap at the moment, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. But he's coming under extreme pressure from Minus Mella in that Williams. And also, you've got JD and My Thunder coming on the right-hand side. On the outside, ooh, he had to move over there, being very, very careful not to hit into the Aston or the Williams. And they are definitely putting the pressure on. You can see the 2 Ferraris working together, and Darkham and Jono doing a great job. This is massive points for Ferrari going into round 4 next week. But we'll have to wait and see what happens at the moment, because behind there is a lot going on. We're seeing overtakes happening left, right and centre, and we're in a lap 3 out of 25 at the moment. We've got 4 guys on the mediums, and we've got Sabina King, Alpha Gully, Yuki Bear, Lost Yuki and Dragon all on the hards. Obviously, Yuki Bear will be under investigation for a reset to track. I'm just waiting for that to come into the into the comments wherever the onboard steward is. Dante, if you're with us, mate, feel free to flick that in. If not, I can do it, and Andy can take over some commentating. But at the moment, it's the double Ferrari at the front on lap 3 out of 25, Andy.
Yeah, double Ferrari well off down the road now. 1.4 seconds as Spinella King on those hard compound tyres has dropped. Been relegated back down to P5 after that long stretch down the home straight as JDMI Thunder went one way, Midas Mello went the other and enveloped the V-Carb into turn 1. We've got some nice little battles happening here as well. We've got Illyrian, Chandler's, Alpha Gully on the hard compound tyre as well, has managed to get himself up into P9 with G-Force, Nick and Keith Respondek for company. We've got Yuki Bear, Lost, Yuki and Dragon all on the hard compound tyre now after a pit stop. Down this back straight though, we'll see more action as the Alpine of Zexify gets bested by his teammate Chandler's and Illyrian. A little bit out of shape though for Chandler's, coming round that 27th turn on the run down towards the line in behind the Kick Sauber. Is he going to make a move on the inside? He is. Alpine on the inside of Kick Sauber. A little bit of contact perhaps as well from Zexify on the rear wing of Illyrian, but does manage to keep P7, does the Kick Sauber.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be fighting too much. He's going to lose a lot of time out in front. 1.7 seconds to Spinella King at the moment, so he's really got to push in there. We're going to look a little bit further back up to the top. Spinella King 5.5 temps behind Midas Miller on those medium compound tyres. Those hards will get into temp. They will get up to temperature, and they will be pushing those mediums to the later stages of this race. Remember, they will be on the better tyre. Spinella King will be on the better tyre at the end of this race, so keep an eye out on that RB Visa Cash App at the moment. The problem is though, Ferraris, they could end up double stacking. What is going to be the situation here? They do not want to hold each other down. We've got Darkin at 9 tenths back from his teammate Jono tonight. We've got JDMI in that P3 position. Aston Martin cooking tonight. Midas Mellor, though, under extreme pressure now from Sabina King. Have those hards got into temp already, or are we just seeing the pace of this guy in the Visa Cash App? Goes around the outside of the Williams, takes that P4, and now he'll be pushing on to JDMI, Vista Thunder in the Aston Martin. Going a little bit further back down, 2.1 second gap there, 2.2 now, to his teammate of Chandler's, Zesfai on Chandler's. Alpha Gully putting the pressure on, but he's got, look at the traffic behind him. He's got Ilian, G-Force, Keefe, unfortunately Yuki Bear 21 seconds, so he might have had a little bit of an incident later on, but he is on the hard. So has he stopped already? We'll just keep having a little check there. Yes, he has. So the 3 at the back have already stopped. Keefe getting a 3 second already on lap 5 out of 25. 20 laps to go, and 41 viewers tuning in. Love it. Back to you.
Yeah, on that previous lap, Alpha Gully burned through a high percentage of his battery. He was sat down in P10. Illyrian, couple of mistakes from him. In Sector 2, allowed G-Force Nick to get up alongside on the left-hand side, but through came Alpha Gully, burnt his battery, swept round both of them into turn 22 to pick up 2 positions in a matter of moments. Super stuff from him. He's right on the back of Zexify now. Zexify looks like he's beginning to struggle. 2.9 seconds the gap to his teammate Chandler's, as you mentioned previously. Chandler's, by the way, alongside the Williams of Midas Mellor into turn 22 that we just spoke about. Guess they moved on the inside. Will he come under pressure, though? Because I don't think he's going to pick up DRS. No, he does. He picks up DRS. So does Midas. In fact, they both get DRS, so that's marginally confusing. They must have been close enough to Spinella King, who is not close enough to the Aston Martin of JDMI Thunder. 2.2 seconds the gap now between JDMI and Darkened Shadows. Darkened Shadows and Jono streaking off out into the distance. Really good work between those two. We've already seen a comment in chat that yes, they will absolutely work together, utilising DRS to get themselves down the road to try and gain a marginal advantage, not only just over the medium runners, but of course the hard runners that will be on that softer, quicker compound at the end of the race, SJ.
Yeah, definitely. You can see there that Midas will not fight Chandler's too much because he's just within the DRS. He's got a little bit more battery as well, so he knows that this is a longer. But Chandler's is obviously, Sabina King has made a mistake there, and that's brought Chandler's up in the P4, so he is actually making his way up through the pack. But Midas is just going to stay behind them. He knows that he's got the ERS. He knows that this is a long race. This is not just won within 5 laps. So he knows, and Spinner King is on those hards, so he knows that he can go the distance. So a little bit of strategy going on here with some of these guys at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see how we go. But so far, so good. A really, really good start by some of these guys, but the Ferraris are the ones at the moment who are really doing a great job. That 3-second gap between Darkin and JD Mai at the moment. And that gap is going down a little bit, but will he be able to catch? That's going to be the question. The Ferraris are in control of this race, and this is big, big points. We saw McLaren last week in Coda taking the double, and it looks like we could see Ferrari taking the double this week. We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, we go a little bit further back down, and there's battles happening left, right, 7, 10 positions in 6. That is cooking. Yes, he is. We've got Chandler's going for it again. Someone's moving over the side. We've got 3 going wide. Then we're going into formation. Chandler's up in a P4. He is going to have a battle on his hands, Andy, with Spinella and Midas right behind. Will he be able to get into the DRS of JD Mai? That's going to be the question, as his teammate just gets a 3-second time penalty. Back to you.
Yeah, a little bit of shenanigans in between Kick Sauber, Alpine, possibly Haas, into turn 1 there, which meant that Zexify possibly, I didn't quite get the camera angle, but Zexify may well have been punted off and picked that 3-second penalty up. No doubt the stewards will take a look at that at the beginning of lap 7 between Keith, Zexify and GeForce Nick potentially. That was absolutely spot on. Whoever said Chandler's up 10 places in 6 laps, absolutely spot on. He's done a phenomenal job, and he's closing in, trying to close in on the back of JDI Mr. Thunder right now, as those 2 Ferraris still maintain that 3-second gap out in front. Chandler's fighting hard. He hasn't dropped Spinella. Spinella's still with him, only 7 or 8 tenths off the back, and now there's a little gap back to Midas Mellor, of course, 1.2 seconds to the Williams man. This is allowing Alpha Gully, by the way, a guy who I highlighted at the beginning of the stream that I really was looking forward to watching. That's just allowed him to begin to catch up to the back. He does clip the wall on the exit of 27. But yeah, that's going to allow him to try and close back up to Midas Mellor also. He won't be able to drop the 2 Kick Saubers anytime soon. Zexify still coming along as well, as actually Zexify does lose a position out to GeForce Nick. Seems to be lacking a little bit of stability in that Alpine Zexify. I'm sure he'll be wanting to get himself potentially onto some hard tyres relatively soon, because he just doesn't seem to be too stable on the mediums. But yeah, all good so far, SJ. Interesting from a Chandler's point of view. And yeah, Ferrari out on top at the moment.
Yeah, he's having a great battle, having an absolutely fantastic race tonight in the Alpine. Alpine obviously struggled this week in overalls, not the best positions they want, has been changed a few times. People are not liking the overalls, Andy, I've got to say. They're not liking the order of the overalls. It's a bit jumbled. I don't know if you've seen it. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not all in order. It's all over the place, which makes it a little bit different, and people are getting quite frustrated. I don't know if you've seen it at all, but have a look. Let me know your thoughts. I'm playing with people's minds. I'm playing with people's minds, Andy. I'm gonna make it fun. I'm gonna make it enjoyable. People say, "Oh yeah, SJ's been on structure with Rush for so long." I'm like, "Yeah, but why not? Let's have a change." Alpha Gully though is flying on those hard compound tyres. 2.5 tenths behind Midas Mellor at the moment, looking to get the move. Prediction done. Say, what do you want, mate? Let me know what you want, and I will get it sorted for you, or you can do it if you want. But Alpha Gully going into P6 on those hard compound tyres, gets that position done. 3.7 seconds now between him and the Vanilla King. Doesn't get that right there on the curb. Gets all over the curb there. May have lost a little bit of time. Lost Midas to 3.5 tenths. Great job there here by the Kickstarters though in P8 and P9, Williams in P7 and P13, Merck the only car on the track, so there is a few advantages for some of these guys, and there's also not a few advantages with some of them. So yeah, it's unfortunate. 2 Ferraris, 1 Aston, 1 RB, 2 Williams, 1 McLaren, 2 Haas, 2 Kicks, and 2 Alpines. So yeah, not unfortunately the rest of the divisions in 2 to 6 are going to be able to have to pull their weight for the remainder of the week, and they will be pulling their weight at Vegas. But Chandler's up into P4, having a nice little battle, going into P3 now. He is flying on those medium compound tyres. Problem is, though, Andy, if he keeps fighting, he's just going to let the Ferraris just win this race easy.
Yeah, JDI, Mr. Thunder, actually made a mistake there at the end of Sector 2. Just put him out of shape, and it allowed Chandler's, who'd managed to close up very nicely during that lap, just allowed Chandler's to get on the inside of the exit at the beginning of Sector 2 and just make that move, beginning of Sector 3, and just get that move made real easy down that long straight with DRS, burning a little bit of battery as well. JDMI comes back at him, though, into Turn 1, but they'll tussle side by side. Front row seat for Spinella King as the Aston Martin and the Alpine get right into it. Turn 4, dangerous part of the track. We talked about this earlier on. Get that wrong, and it's sayonara. But through they go then, through turns 5, 6, 7. Again, more opportunity for invalidations in terms of laps, so therefore warnings. Their interpretation of track limits, but they'll head down, and Chandler's and JD Thunder actually navigate that pretty well in the end. But all the time, that gap between Ferrari and Alpine and Aston Martin just ticks up ever so slightly at 4.6 seconds now, SJ. It's becoming urgent for these guys to halt the slide.
Yeah, it does, but anything can happen. The safety car changed the whole dynamics of this race, and boom, you click your fingers, and it's all changed. That means you're going to have to double stack for the Ferrari. Chandler's is probably going to jump on the Ferrari drivers, go onto the hards, will go to the end. Things will change very, very quickly. So Spinella King in good situation at the moment. These guys will just use the DRS. If they're clever, they will use each other to try and gain that momentum on the Ferraris. That's the question. You don't want to be fighting because they're fighting, and also look at Gully in the background. He's now 2 seconds behind. He's now 1.8. He can see them. He's now 1.7. It's not going to take long before he's 1.5. And things are going to change very, very quickly as we see Chandler's making his pit stop. So he's trying to go for the undercut here. So this will be an interesting strategy if this works.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to say, if the Ferraris don't go in this lap, I'm tempted, if I'm Chandler's or JDI, to try and dip the undercut. The undercut is so incredibly powerful on F1 24. I saw somebody who was leading a race last night end up in 13th after the first round of pit stops just because of undercuts. Not too sure how it works on this track, but certainly that's one to watch if you are just keeping your tabs on Chandler's and Illyrian and the time to the leader, which currently is 23 seconds if you're Chandler. So I would imagine Jono and Dark and Shadow may well react to that. Certainly JDI Mr. Thunder will, because obviously he's right next to Chandler's, as Chandler's dipped into the pit lane, SJ.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting to see, because I'm just going to look at the leader situation there. So he's 23 seconds behind the leader. So do you think that they will make that change? Because they'll know that he's pit, and he is on those. He has gone on those hard compound tyres. So it is going to be a crazy stint there. But we'll have to wait and see, and it's going to be very interesting to see what the Ferrari do next as this battle's going on here. It's been looking getting very, very close, and here we go. There's another one going into the pits, so he's obviously going to try and jump off and get in front of Chandler's, and that is JD Mike, Keefe, and Midas, and Zitify, his teammate as well. So they've obviously called it, and they think that's good enough. So when the Ferrari's going too long, are they going to want to go longer? This could change everything up very, very quickly if a safety car comes out, because we're seeing every single car now on the hard compound tyres, and basically the top four are the only ones that are having to pit.
Yeah, so Chandler's has got out plenty in front of JDI Mr. Thunder. There's a good gap there for him. What he's not done, Chandler's, is he's not closed in too much on the leaders. Still, that gap sits at around about 23.4 seconds. So he's not closed in too much. The undercut hasn't been too impactful on the front two thus far. He might sneak it under 23 seconds on this lap, but still, 23 seconds is plenty of time. Of course, Jono and Dark and Shadow can't pit at the same time. One of them will have to pit first and the other one carry on. We don't want to be double stacking if you're Ferrari, so I would imagine if Jono's the guy who pits first up, because he's the lead car, gets priority, of course, and Dark and Shadows has to go an extra lap, SJ.
Yeah, well, this is the question, isn't it? How long is it going to be? Because Chalmers is going to take P1 as it stands at the moment. He has got enough time and it's dropping. It's now 22.9, so it was 23 before. So he is getting a move on. And there you go. Darkin getting a 10-second!
Oh,
Oh, no!
big mistake.
That is not what you want. That is not what you want. Oh, that really catches people out. And that has caught him out. And we're just going to see how far or how close it's going to be between him and Chandler's, as Chandler's is coming up the main straight now. You can see him in the background. And there we go. Oh, Jay Darkin gets it all wrong. And he's going to get investigated for cutting the pit lane entry. Oh, no. Darkin's got it all wrong there. So that's going to be an interesting strategy there. And obviously Dante will be putting that into the investigation because I think he's crossed the pit lane. So it's gone all wrong there for Darkin. And now Chandler's is 3.2 seconds behind. He will pull that in because he will be on cold tyres. So it's going to take a little bit of time for Darkin to get those tyres up and running. But he's got 10 seconds under him. Oh, that's not good.
That's a crucial mistake. As Alpha Gully and Spinella getting right into it as they approach turn number 22. Alpha Gully and Spinella King doing a great stint on these hard tyres. Jono will dip into the pits now, no doubt. Hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake as his teammate. But Dark and Shadows on that pit exit, he went over to the left-hand side, made a mistake, lost traction, gone left. Didn't seem to cross the pit lane exit marker, which is the white line on the right-hand side as you exit here at Saudi Arabia. Jono's in the pit lane. He will lose the lead of this race to Alpha Gully. Spinella King go through as well. Dark and Shadows has that one lap on the new tyres allowed him to jump his teammate into turn number 1. I think it probably will. And of course, Dark and Shadows win that 10-second penalty. No, actually, Jono will indeed get himself out and get himself back into a good position. Chandler's on the chase, still 3 seconds behind Dark and Shadows. Illyrian now has come through. So Illyrian has managed to jump both Keith Respondek and JDI Mr. Thunder. And now it's all to play for. Lost Yuki and Dragon, of course, still at the back. Less time between themselves and the cars in front now, but they're on much, much older tyres and will lose time hand over fist unless there's a safety car towards the latter stages as Keith Respondek and Illyrian, the two kick sabers, working side by side. Illyrian allowing Keithy to go through there. Spinella King and Alpha Gully, though, will not lead this race once they pit. How far are they going to go, SJ? Oh, Spinella King makes a mistake.
Oh, yeah, and so does JDMI. Sorry, I'm just on board with JDMI at the moment. It's 1.1 between Spinella King and Alpha Gully, so Alpha Gully's managed to push on. The question is how quick is Alpha Gully going to be when he makes the pit stop? Because remember, we did say that these two guys are going to be on a quicker tyre for the remainder of this race. So they'll be on the mediums going to the end, hopefully. So how far will they push on those hard compound tyres? As you can see there, Alpha Gully has actually already dropped Spinella King off the DRS as we go. Just keeping an eye on the kicks here. As the kicks are getting this all wrong, I think they're putting themselves under extreme pressure because JDMI now has got the toe on one and he's going to get the toe on the other, and we could have an Aston taking over both kicks. But look at that. Nice. That is very clever, well done there by the kicks. They don't want to get themselves into a little bit of drama. Oh, look at this! G-Force Nick's coming on the outside. Oh, this is interesting going into turn 1, and the Aston relinquishes the position. So there you go. He's actually lost himself nearly 2 positions there, but good driving there from the kick Saubers. Hello, great streams. Really enjoy
that
your
little
energy.
disengaging.
Thanks, Tom.
Disengaging the DRS on the straight and parking side by side to not allow JDI Mr. Thunder through was superb work, and then JDMI Thunder actually repaid the favour because he made a very, very wise decision to back out on that side-by-side with G-Force Nick moving into turn number 4. That just allows him to continue in the race, quite frankly, because that could have been terminal. Keith Respondek actually now, Spinella King has pitted pretty early, SJ, on those hard tyres. He's left himself 11 laps on the mediums. We've seen the mediums go a reasonable distance. But he is only 2.5 seconds off the back of Chandler's now. Alpha Gully is the next car to dip into the pits. No doubt Spinella King will have managed to get the undercut on the McLaren man. The pit stop is around about 20 seconds you lose here at Saudi Arabia. He does clip the wall, though, Spinella King, on the exit. Alpha Gully isn't going to stay in front of Chandler's. There's a whole host of cars. He's going to come out into an absolute massive amount of traffic because we've got VCarb, Kick, Aston Martin and Haas. Does he get out in front of them? Yes, he does. Just manages to get out in front of the VCarb of Spinella King. And that is great stuff from Alpha Gully. He will be delighted with that pit stop. Only 1.3 seconds off the back of Chandler's, and then it'll be all down to chasing down the 2 Ferraris out top, SJ.
Yeah, and the lead has not been the same since that 10 seconds, and it's going to be very interesting there. We've got 50 people tuning in tonight, hitting the big 5-0. Lovely to see there, 16 laps out of 25. And love the message there. Thank you very much, Tom Bright. What did it say? Oh, it's been deleted. Okay. Obviously not. Actually, no, it did. It says, hello, great streams. I really enjoy your energy. Thank you very much, Tom Bright. Really appreciate it. We are one follower away from 1,600 followers, Andy. 1,600. We've hit 100 followers since the beginning of the year. Fantastic.
Lovely stuff.
Lovely
Stuff. And deservedly so as well. This is one of the top leagues, not just in Oceania, but across the planet.
No, sorry, I'm only messing with you.
That's what I said. I said it.
100%. No,
sure. Your audio must be playing up again. I definitely said is. Alpha Gully, anyway, on the chase. He's got DRS. DRS off the back of Chandler's in that Alpine here on lap 17 of 25 of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Round number 3 in Rush Racing League Division 1. And yeah, he is closing right up. The absolute benefit of having that softer, quicker, compounder tyre on the McLaren. Alpha Gully letting it rip. And he will be all over the back of Chandler's as they get to that next DRS zone through sector. The detection point is in sector 2, and it goes through sector 2 into sector 3, of course. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good end here. 53 people tuning in, ready for this action. 17 laps out of 25. We've got 6, we've got 4, we've got 3. All those guys on the Haas. There's only 2 guys on the medium compound on the medium compound tyre, and I think these guys may have driven with each other before, maybe in another league, because they are very, very similar. They're both on the same compound of tyre, and they are gunning for the top 3. You got Chandler's. He is literally 4 temps and in Gully's sights, and he's ready to pounce. Gully with 86% ERS, and he is going for it. Here we go. I'm ready for this action, and Chandler's, you have a McLaren up your rear, and he's going to be waiting for the move to be happening. And you've got Spinella King in the wings as well, waiting for that mistake. So Gully will not want to stay behind this guy for too long, because he's got 4.6 seconds to Darkin, but Darkin does have that 10 seconds. And here we go. Alpha Gully will get the move done, gets the fastest lap. No, Spinella King takes it away from him. Now it's 4.8 seconds and 18 laps out of 25. This is going to go to the wire between the McLaren and the 2 Ferraris. And we've got Chandler's in the wings, who's had a fantastic race. Got to admit, he's had a fantastic race. Has he gone in too early, though? That's going to be the question. Are those hards going to be hurting too much? He's got 2 guys on medium compound tyres, which are very quick tyres and very, very fresh, against Ilian, who is on those hards, 2.2. So it's going to be very interesting to see. We're going to go a little bit further down because we've still got JDI, who is on the back of Keithy, and they do have pins. So if there's big points up for grabs here, and Wog, GeForce Nick could get in the points as well, even bigger points than he is at the moment. Everyone is going to get points. No one retire. No one needs to retire. The question is, though, is Alpha Gully going to be able to catch Darkin and Jono by the end of this race, Andy?
Well, he's taken a second out of them so far on this lap, so I would suggest that he can catch. As the old saying goes, you can catch, but it's a different story trying to get past. Certainly, it depends for me who's going to have the quicker tyres on that last 2 or 3 laps, who's going to manage the battery. What is that going to look like? Dark and Shadow, obviously, with the 10-second penalty, will be looking in his rear wing mirror, and I'm pretty sure with a 10-second penalty, that'll take him all the way back down to P8 or 9, perhaps, as Jono actually has now allowed Dark and Shadow through. So Dark and Shadow going through. Is that going to hamper, though, He's on a 1 lap older Delta tyre, and he looks slower. He looks so much slower here in Sector 1, does Dark and Shadow. Jono almost pushing him through those first 2, 3, 4 turns. And that's all that's going to do. It's going to allow the McLaren of Alpha Gully to close this gap even further, SJ.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just on board with JD at the moment, and him and Keithy are really having a battle there for that P8 and P7 position. And JD has come very, very close. Keithy on that 33%, JD on 49, 778. So obviously Keithy's teammate Avilian is on 1 lap older tyres than his teammate at the moment. He's got on it at the moment, and these Ferraris need to get this right, because I'm looking at that time and I'm seeing Alpha Gully. He is reining them in. 2.5, 19 out of 25. Darkin still has that 10 seconds though, and he will not be able to get that removed. And he's also got investigation with 3 seconds across the pit lane. But I'm on board this JD fight at the moment with the 2 kick Saubers, and it's really good to see the 2 kick Saubers working together. JDI's got nothing, but he's also got GeForce Nick behind him, just waiting to make a move there as well, on 2 lap older tyres as well. So doing a really, really good job. And here goes JD. Is he going to be able to make the move? Are they going to defend again like they did last time? We saw what happened last time. They literally put themselves right in the way and made it very, very difficult for JD to get the move done. And here goes JD. Yeah. He's going to try and go for the move. Look at What comes out on the outside and snatches that move. That is very, very snaky there from the Haas. He does lose out the position, but look, JD's got nowhere to go. Don't go through the middle. Whoa. That's just silly. That's silly. That's a silly manoeuvre there. Not to go straight through the middle. There's no room there. No room. And he's pushed himself all the way down into P10. And they've actually got away from him as well. He's actually lost 2 positions due to that manoeuvre. So there you go. Good for going on board that Swift. That was a good shout. Go a little bit back up to the front though, and Darkin 5.5 tenths behind his teammate, but Gully at 1.9. Chandler's 2 seconds. Sabinella King 8.5 tenths. So this is going to be very interesting. Are we going to see Sabinella or Chandler's on the podium? That's going to be the question. 5 laps to go. And driver of the day. Better get that announced. 5 laps to go. So, who's your driver of the day?
You asking me?
Yep. Who is your driver of the day, Andy?
At the minute, I'm going to go with Alpha Gully. Seems like a great strat call to me.
Okay. Driver of the day. That's Jay. We just got to remember we're on comms. Guys, the votes will go to you very, very soon. Drive of the day. I'm going to give it to Chandler's. I think he's done absolutely fantastic tonight. So I'm going to give it to him. And guys, you have 3 laps to get your names in. And we've also got a prediction as well. Will there be a safety car? Doesn't look like there is going to be a safety car. So 52 people, what do you think? Put your John debuting P1. Yep, I don't know if he's going to keep it though. I really don't think he's going to be able to keep it. 5 lap mediums against... Nope, I don't think he is. I think this is going to be a great finish, Andy. Oh, this is going to be a great finish. I can see it coming now.
Yeah, here comes the McLaren then of Alpha Gully, lap 21 of 25. Not long to go now in this, the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, round 3 of Rush Racing League. And here comes Alpha Gully, half a second now behind the 2 Ferraris. One of them, of course, with a 10-second penalty. And this gap will only close down over the course of the next couple of straights. Here he comes. Look at the difference in grip there, going through the final turn and then onto the pedal, the throttle. Are we going to see the 2 Ferraris defend like the 2 kick Saubers doing, cause some frustration? That was the problem with JDI, Mr. Thunder, that we saw with that onboard. Just an incredible amount of frustration with the kick Saubers. But I don't think there's anything in the rules that suggests you can't go side by side and disengage your DRS to maintain positions, SJ.
No,
so that was just a good move. And look at this McLaren now going through Sector 1. He's going to pick off Dark and Shadows pretty shortly, I would imagine. Dark and Shadows will be able to defend with DRS. Does have a lot of battery left. But so does
around the outside.
A little bit too deep, perhaps, by the Ferrari.
Yeah, them tyres. They're still good
Just
tyres.
that
They're still good
pocket.
tyres. He's still on good tyres. He's got those 9-lap hards. I don't know. Are they in temp? Are they in? That's the question. The problem is, Darkin is doing a good job. He's 7.5 tenths behind. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it though. Gully is all over him. He is waiting. He's just waiting for the right time. Darkin 67, Gully 72. He's going to have to burn it. He's going to have to go for it because this is not going to help Gully. Yes, he is going to get the P2 at the moment with obviously the penalty, but is he going to get? Is he going to get there?
I think from an Alpha Gully perspective now, I'd be happy to just sit behind until I get a real big opportunity.
No, he's making it. He's making it. He's going for it.
Yes,
he's on the right-hand side. Oh, left-hand side, sorry. He's on the left-hand side. He's going to go for the move. He breaks out later. Oh, he's got so much better grip on those mediums. He's gone round. Has he got the grip to get? Oh, Darkham loses out. There we go. It's now McLaren versus Ferrari with 2 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. If you've not seen a climax finish, this could be even... If Darkham can stay, though, with Gully, he can put pressure and he can help Jono out the front there. That's going to be the question, because Jono's done a fantastic... He's had a fantastic race tonight. Made no mistakes. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm just going to look. I think he started from P1. No, he started P1, stays P1. So, guys, you've got 2 laps to go. Sorry, you've got 1 lap to go. Get your driver of the day in. Get your messages coming in. And, yeah, looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here. But Gully is 5.5 attempts, and he's just ready to engage. He's got 95% ERS. This is going to be a great battle. And if these guys end up, obviously, Gully is a full-timer, and if Jono ends up becoming full-timer, we're going to have some serious battles on our hand for the remainder of this season between these two, Andy.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good between these two. Obviously, different strategies this evening, but only a 3.5 tenth gap between the two. One on what would be considered faster, softer tyres at this present moment in time. Gets a little bit out of shape, though, Alpha Gully, as does Dark and Shadows behind in the slipstream, but 4 tenths back. Jono, 50% battery. Alpha Gully just biding his time. No ERS deployed whatsoever as they cross the line to start the penultimate lap of round number 3. Dark and Shadows is not going away. He is just still there applying pressure. He'll want to be dragged along by these front two anyway, even with that 10-second penalty. Because if they drag him along with DRS, then there's more chance of him scoring a few more points and not getting relegated down too far through the pecking order on that final lap, SJ. 2 tenths, 2.5 tenths. Alpha Gully not utilising any battery at all. I don't expect him to be making moves until perhaps the start-finish straight to start lap 25, or indeed the back straight DRS zone number 2. What do you think?
Yeah, he's gonna go for the move. I would go for it near the end. I wouldn't go for it too early, just in case he then gets Jono back into the DRS, and Darken's not going away. What hour is the league? The hour of the league. Well, it's hard to say, mate, but I can't tell you. I'll talk to you in a sec. As Darkham goes for the move, causes problems here for the McLaren, and he's going to sandwich. Gully cannot let this happen. He's going to have one go. Oh, Darkham gets it all wrong. Gully gets a bit of grip. Look how close he is. I'm going to take the last lap, Andy, as I always love to do. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, 25 and 25. Remember, get your names in the comments and get your driver of the day, because this is the last chance. Gully's got it all wrong there. Darken holds it up. Jono can actually get the win here. Gully's going to go side by side. Is he going to go? Oh, it's going to be a side by side. Nothing. Do not go wrong on the last lap. Gully goes around the outside. Gets the job done. He's going to have 9 tenths. He needs to stay within the DRS. 79% against Jono's 70%. He's going to have to get a move on. As you can see, low on the fuel light here now. Can Gully get it? I don't know if he's going to. He could lose the DRS if if he makes one mistake, he is staying within the DRS. This is going to be tight, Andy. This is going to be tight. Darken might have just done enough here to put Gully off. Jono does still have 48%. He's burning a little bit of battery. Gully is burning everything right now. It's 6.5 tenths. It's closing in. Yuki Bear gets the fastest lap, so that's big points for Haas. Here we go. Alpha Gully, 7.5 tenths, 6 tenths. Jono still in the lead. Low on battery, low on ERS. Here we go. This is the last DRS zone. Here we go. 5.5 tenths. It could all go wrong right at the end. Here we go. I will refund you, Kalki. Don't worry. Gully coming to the last corner. Here we go. Down the main straight. Last part of the DRS. 27%. 24%. Gully is going to burn. He's going to do everything he can. He can get him one more chance. They're going to go around the outside. Gully on the left. Can he get him to the line? It's going to be a drag race. Oh my God, it's going to be a drag race. He's going to get it. Alpha Gully. That's what you call racing.
Wow.
What a race. What a race, ladies and gentlemen.
200ths of a second.
I will, I will just refund you. Hang on. Reward. I will refund you. Hang on. On board. Reject and refund.
Yeah, that's an incredible finish there, SJ. Alpha Gully getting it right. Didn't push too hard down that back straight. He flicked his ERS to none. No battery usage down the final little stretch of that third DRS zone, and then slipped it into the slipstream behind Jono on the home straight, and then gave it absolutely everything from a battery point of view. And what a drag race to the line. 28 thousandths of a second. You will not see many racers with that close of a finish, mate.
No, you won't. I'm sorry, I love doing the last lap. That was, Darkin did his best. He did such a good job. I'm just going to get Alpha Gully, and we're going to get Garrus, and we're also going to get Sabina King in. And I'll tell you something, 2 of the guys in there tonight joined the comms box. Just going to get these guys in to the comms box. That was absolutely fantastic racing there right at the end, and that's what it's all about. 50 viewers tuning in, watching that action. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it wasn't full grid, but it doesn't need to be a full grid to still have great racing. Absolutely fantastic. We do have one of the guys coming in. Garrus is in. We'll jump on board with the other one in a sec. Steve, mate, please jump in. Please jump in. Yeah, jump in, man. Won't be long. If we can get you. You're up, Nick. You're up first anyway. Let's see if we can get him in. That'd be really good to get him in. And we'll wait for Gully to come in. But we can't have to go. All good. No drama. Alright, we'll see if we can get some of the other guys in. We've got Gully in as well. Who is going to get driver of the day, Andy? Come on, tell me. Who do you think that is? We're just listening to the fans. That was some good racing there. Boss Bart Spikes, thank you very much. Appreciate the comments. Who's going to get driver of the day? But first of all, before you think about driver of the day, I'm going to just go for the classifications there. Alpha Gully taking up P1 there. Jono taking P2. Sibylla King there taking up P3. And fastest lap there goes to Yuki Bear. So big points. Everyone finished, which is really, really good. And yeah. All 14 of you get points. I'm going to see if we can get Franz in. Franz, are you going to jump in? Let me see if I can get him in. I want to get more than one person in. Jump in. Right. Andy, who's getting driver of the day?
Alpha Gully, for me, hands down. Superb strat. Started 12th on the grid, manoeuvred his way through, had a real good tussle with the 2 Ferraris there at the end. And, almost, Dark and Shadow almost did enough to put Alpha Gully off and allow his teammate Jono to race through and win. But yeah, Alpha Gully, for me, superb race. And I guess closely followed by people like Chandler's and Jono. Yeah, but cracking race from the McLaren.
Definitely. We're not going to be able to talk to, unfortunately, Sabina King, but I'm going to try and get I'm going to try and get Franz in, and I'm going to try and get Marzi in, because I think it'll be really interesting to hear what the McLaren TP has got to say. But first of all, we will go over to our interviewers. And did we have a safety car? No, we didn't. So 27,000 points. Will there be a safety car? No, there wasn't. So I'll just get a prediction right. I don't want to get told off for not giving people their predictions. But Andy, I'll let you take over the interview with Garris, known as Jono, in the Ferrari, which I think from this could be the new full-time driver.
Yeah, Garris, Jono, good evening to you, sir. Congratulations on your P2 this evening. Obviously, a bit of a chalked qualification session, but you seem to have plenty of pace in quality tonight, but also working really well with Dark and Shadow. Just talk us through the race and the strat and what you were thinking throughout certainly the first half.
Yep, so basically for the first half of the race, I knew that if I could get my teammate into second place, we knew that they would probably be fighting for P3, so we could run away with it, and that's what happened. So I kept him within DRS because he didn't have as much pace as I did. So I really wanted him to keep that DRS with me so that we could get a really good result. Sadly, he did get that 10-second, which was not optimal. So it kind of ruined that a bit. So when it came to the second stint, we just kept going at it because we knew that Alpha was coming up really, really fast. So I just tried to keep him within DRS at all times so that Alpha couldn't really get that chance to overtake with that DRS if he had it with me. So, but it didn't work out. But I think we got the best result that we could have gotten tonight. So I'm happy.
Yeah, an unfortunate 10-second penalty for sure for Dark and Shadow, but he absolutely did you proud in that battle that he had with Alpha Gully. Certainly over the course of the last 2 laps, it almost got you the win, but wasn't quite enough in the end. Obviously, is that your first race here?
That is my first race in this league.
So that's not a terrible start for your first race in Division 1 at Rush Racing League. What's the plan for the rest of the season?
The plan is to make Ferrari the best it can be. So we're just going to be looking, try to get the overall constructors, I guess.
Sounds good to me. Well done, mate. Well done. I'll pass you over to SJ to ask you some further questions, no doubt.
Garris, mate, welcome to Rush, mate. What an entrance. What a drive. Never seen you, never heard of you. But, mate, that was fantastic. Obviously, start to finish. Obviously, you qualified P1. Great start. And, fantastic. And how did you find that? Because it was basically quite lonely out there, wasn't it? It was between you and the Ferrari. And normally, I will just put this on there, there is normally 20 cars on the grid. Just, unfortunately, people just don't show, which is unfortunate. Obviously, when we got to get things going, we can't wait around. So, obviously, next week there will be 20 on the grid. You have my 100% confidence on that. But it was quite lonely out there for you and Darken earlier on. Did you think you were going to come under some pressure during the race at some point?
Yeah, I did, because I knew Gully was coming up and I know he's fast. So the whole race, I was just focusing on the team, just keeping Darkened within DRS just so that we could get a good result. Because at the end of the day, I don't think we had the pace on Alpha, sadly, but we did the best we could, honestly. So I'm very happy with the result regardless, but it was very close to the win. So I'm a little disappointed, but it's fine.
Is this the start of a full-time seat for you in the Ferrari? Because I've heard that Franz has brought you in, and what does this mean? Is this a full-time for you?
Yes, I will be full-time now.
Hey, there we go. Fresh face. Yeah. Love fresh face. Obviously going into next week, I'm just going to quickly bring up the calendar because the calendar is different. So Division 1 is a different calendar to the rest of the guys. So you are heading over to Singapore. How do you feel about that? It's going to be quite narrow, isn't it?
Yeah, Singapore's honestly a really fun track. A lot can happen. It is quite difficult to overtake if you don't have that raw pace, but it should be a really good challenge, and I hope it rains because it'd make it even more fun.
Yeah, I think you're going to have some fantastic battles, and I don't think this is the end of it. I think tonight was fantastic. I thought Darkin did a really good job. Unfortunately, he did get that 10-second. Does have an investigation over his head as well. Unfortunately, he got it all wrong coming out the pits, which we will talk to him in a second. But I think it's going to be a very interesting, nice little battle there between you and Gully at the moment. It seems like it's going to be fireworks.
I am hoping, yeah, it's going to be really fun. You know, the battles will be clean, and it's just going to be, really fun to battle.
Well, welcome to Rush, mate. Welcome to the Rush family, and I look forward to seeing you next week in Singapore.
Thank you very much. You have a good night.
You too, man.
See ya.
All right. Andy, I will push it. We'll stay with Ferrari because we do have his teammate in tonight who did reserve up from Division 2. Dark and Shadows, I'll take it over to you.
Darken, good evening. Just before I ask you any questions, I just want to confirm that I think I heard somebody say they'd like to see it rain in Singapore. Can somebody just check that man is okay, please? Because that doesn't sound like much fun to me. But anyway, Darkened, well done, mate. What a cracking race, reserving up from Division 2. Just talk to us about that last couple of laps, because you were fighting real hard there with Alpha Gully to try and give Jono the win. What was your thought process?
I just knew I didn't have the pace of either of them, and I had made a couple mistakes beforehand. So the only way that, and I'm trying to give my teammate as big of a gap as possible, try and get Alpha to use his ERS. So I just played it really aggressive the last couple of laps, and just tried to do my part as a teammate, but it didn't work out. Things go how it goes.
Going into turn 1, 2, 3, and 4 on that final lap, that was pretty wild, and I think you both just about manages to keep the contact to a bare minimum. Certainly through turn 4, my heart was in my mouth at that point. I thought either one or both of you may well have ended up with ties hanging off. But yeah, a really good job from you to try and keep that gap for your teammate. It almost worked out, all but for 28 thousandths of a second. I think that would have been a phenomenal thing, but a great drive from you. A shame about the 10-second penalty. That would have been P3, of course. But how do you feel now about your confidence? How do you feel about your confidence going into the rest of the season, both in Div 2 and maybe even if you have to come up into Div 1 to reserve?
I definitely feel much more confident about Tier 2 than I do Tier 1. I got the call up to race like 10 minutes before the race. I'm not even in my own house, so I just turned on the controller. I just raced on the controller, so it was very different to how I've been driving recently, so it was a bit stressful, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's actually making me feel a little bit stressful, having to think about driving on controller again. But wow, that brings actually a little bit of extra kudos to you for driving in somebody else's house with a controller. So well done again, mate. I'll pass you over to SJ for anything he's got to ask.
Yeah, big up to the pad players. I think the one question I'm gonna say is, what happened coming out of the pits? It looked like you were drunk coming out of the pits.
Oh mate, the whole pits was a mess. On the entrance to the pit, I locked up and actually hit the wall on the right, which put my speed over. Got the penalty from that, and then coming out of the pits, I just put too much power down on cold tires and almost lost it coming out of the pit. Yeah. So the whole pit scenario wasn't a good wasn't a highlight of my race, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, it did, and then obviously the 10 seconds as well, which was a shame. But honestly, I've got to give it to you, even though you probably just forgot about the 10 seconds and was like, I'm just going to forget about it. I know I've got it. I'm going to try and help Garrus, out in front, and you really did help to an extent. It's just went to the final corner. I don't think if you would have pushed Gully any further, I don't think he would have got it. I think if you would have pushed him just a couple more corners, I don't think he would have got it. I think Jono would have got it.
Well, he's rapid, so I just had to do something from when I was next to him, but I didn't want to kill either of us. It got close, but luckily we both finished the race.
Well, mate, I've got to say, fantastic. It's been very, very good watching you lately. Obviously, Division Two, you had a very, very good performance in Hungary, and obviously you get to obviously not do this one again. Obviously, it's done and dusted. So you'll be going over to your race tomorrow night, which will be at Vegas.
Vegas.
And how are you feeling around that? How's the morale? How's the team feeling going into Vegas?
The team's feeling good. I'm not feeling good because I haven't done any practice for it.
Oh, no.
So we'll have to. I'll probably do some practice now, maybe some tomorrow. There's a chance that I can't make it tomorrow. Hopefully I can, but we'll just have to find out tomorrow afternoon.
I'm sure everyone will jump in. But no, great job, man. Great job. And look forward to seeing what we can do tomorrow.
All right, cheers, boys.
All right. All right. We're going to go over to our next person in the comms box. And Alpha Gully, mate, that was stressful.
Hello.
Do you agree,
Yeah.
Andy?
It was stressful a lot. It was stressful from qualifying, actually.
Yeah, you came back quite far, didn't you? And you were on those hard compound tyres, and it was about looking at probably strategy, getting onto those mediums, going to the end. And unfortunately, Lone Wolf tonight, right at the end there, obviously couldn't get a reserve in, which was a shame. But big points for McLaren tonight. Take us through the last lap.
So I basically saved DRS, since I got into lead train, I knew that I was on pretty low wings, that I can easily lead the last lap, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So I just tried to stick with P2, which was quite stressful, as we said. Like in turn 1, we haven't left each other much space, but we managed to survive it. And yeah, then I just needed to get closer, get some slipstream, and I knew that if I can set up the exit properly, I can win the race. So it worked at the end. So happy for the team.
Well, it seemed to go to plan. Obviously a little bit of a battle there at the end, which is always good to see. We like to have those battles and like to have clean battles. But I know we didn't have a full grid, and I have said to Gareth, and I've said the same thing to Dark, and we will have a full grid next week. Obviously, everyone gets points, and hopefully you'll get another teammate for next week, and everyone will. Yeah, we'll be all good. But what an end! 0.028 to the line. If Darkin probably pushed you a little bit more in a few corners and held you behind, I don't think you would have got it. I think Jono would have probably just cleared you.
I don't know. It's it's a mystery. Probably I wouldn't get it because the first PRS detection point in sector 2, I got it like by half a tenth, if I remember properly. Then I just carried the speed through the slipstream. Probably I wouldn't make it. Yeah, but I got fortunate enough to make it.
Well, I've got to say, an absolute phenomenal drive, mate. You did also get the driver of the day as well, so that's another 2 extra points as well. So fantastic job. And I'll pass you over to the man, Mr. Owen, Andy Owen.
Alpha, good evening, my friend. I did say at the beginning of the stream this evening that I was really looking forward to watching you race. I actually got to see you race last night, and it is a very different outcome today than it was yesterday, and that's the ups and downs, the roller coaster of sim and league racing. Yeah, I was just incredibly impressed with yourself on the chase, getting yourself up and past Chandler's. To then get amongst it with those Ferraris. Yeah, the last 2 laps were outstanding. A I'll assume that you'll be here next week for Singapore, my friend. I'm looking forward to seeing you yet again. How do you fancy the track at Singapore? And are you another one of these crazy people that likes rain around that circuit?
Uh, Actually, I don't like Singapore that much, but I do like rain, so
Okay.
it would be better for me if it would be Singapore in rain instead of just being Singapore.
Wow, I need to check you guys out for something. You know, wanting rain is horrific, but wanting rain around Singapore, my word. But yeah, I'm absolutely sure that you'll perform again next week. It's been an absolute pleasure seeing you battle it out throughout the grid from P12 on the grid. By the way, let's not forget that after a chalked qualification session this evening, superb drive from you on that alternate strategy to get yourself up on the softer, quicker compound tire at the end. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing you racing more in Rush Racing League, Alpha. Congratulations, my friend, and have a great rest of your Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See you.
Cheers, man. All right, well, I'll pass you back over to our next person because we do have the McLaren TP because we could not get Spinelli King in, which was unfortunate. So I'll let you take us one away, and I'll take the rest of the questions at the end.
Yeah, Marzi. Good evening, my friend. How are you?
I'm well, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really well, my friend. Yeah, from the initial starting point, only having one car on the grid, starting in P12 after the qualification session. What were your thoughts as you entered the race? Did you think that you could have won it, or was it just a case of let's just pick up as many points as possible?
Well, I was a bit upset about the reserve, but understandable. The guy's power shut out because of a storm, so he couldn't make it. So we thought we'll just run in one car, and it was just unfortunate that in the Q1, well, with 15 races on the grid, we didn't really push for a fast lap. But we didn't think the host was gonna desync. So that mistake won't be made again, that's for sure. And yeah, we started from P12, I believe. We knew it was going to be a tough race. To be honest with you, I was a bit worried about a few drivers like Chandler's, Jeddah My Thunder, Darkened. We didn't know much about Jono. Well, actually, we didn't know anything about Jono, and I tell you what, he was a pain in my butt, if I can say that, through the whole race, because we had no information about this guy. We didn't know how fast he was, and it proved like he's pretty quick. And I don't know where France got him from, but I didn't expect nothing different from France, and I take my hat off to him. He's done his job well, and I do welcome Jono to the Rush, and I'm looking forward to many more races with him.
Yeah, good stuff, mate. I think you're absolutely spot on there. It won a steep learning curve in that qualification session that absolutely you just assume that everybody's going to get through. But of course, with the rules around red flags in qualification, it does provide you a little bit of a potential problem, doesn't it? But dealt with so superbly by Alpha Gully tonight. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing two McLarens in Papaya on the grid next week, Marzi. Congratulations and well done. And I'll pass you over to the governor.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, I can't scream too much. I can't shout too much. But come on, McLaren! I shouldn't do that. But no, obviously, a bit disappointed with the attendance. But it is what it is. You know, the rule that we've put in. You know, we're not going to wait around. You know, unfortunately, the red flag, and we tried to deal with it as quick as possible. And everyone was going to get points at the end of the day. And hopefully, we get the 20 next week. But the 14 that we had on the grid tonight, we had some fantastic racing. We had some battles from the back, from the midfield to the front. Not to the front as much because obviously the Ferraris did push on. But how did you feel? I know you said to Andy you were a little bit worried about obviously Gully being so low, but he had a bit of work. He had a bit of work to do tonight to come all the way back to get to the front very, very quickly. It was such a strong start from the Ferraris tonight.
Well, yeah, at the start of the race, when we saw that we're starting from P12, the boys in the engineering department over here in McLaren, we decided to go with hards, and luckily Chandler's made how can I say, he made the way through the field, and we just tried to stick with him and follow him in a way, you know what I mean? And we knew he was going to pit a bit earlier, so we can stay out and make those few positions. We were scared of a safety car, but then again, we rely on Div 1 experience and the pace. So luckily there was none. There was a few incidents with the Kicks and the Aston Martins, yeah, but no safety cars. Overall, very good pace from Gully. He was patient, which is exactly what I was asking of him, just to be patient. It's a long race. 25 laps might not sound like a long race, but in Saudi Arabia with the 3 DRS sections, it is a very, very long race. But yeah, he made it through the field, and I think we pitted perfectly on the perfect spot, and we just got in front of a bit of traffic there, hooked up behind Chandler's again, and it was just 9 laps of pure speed, which he showed tonight. And like I said, Jono gave us a run for our money, but we won't make that same mistake again. We will be more careful of Jono. Unfortunate with this quali, but we will see what we can do about the Ferraris next time around.
Yeah.
I'd just also like to add about what you said about the not too much fighting at the front and all that. Ferraris took it away. Lots of people are saying in the Discord, our channel, that the Money League will bring down the views and the excitement of racing in Div 1 and all these great drivers leaving us and all this. Which I think we just proved it tonight that is absolutely not the case. And I think whoever watched this race was actually excited from start to finish. So I think we just keep pushing ahead, and so far so good.
Yeah, 60 views with 14 people on the grid. So yeah, there you go. I have no comment. Obviously, you know how I feel about obviously the Division 1 drivers. We want them to have the opportunity. We've bent over backwards, given them a calendar, given them the day, given them everything they can. So yeah, there's not much more we can do. But when people leave, it opens new avenues and opens new doors for new drivers. And we've seen the likes of Gully tonight. And
Jono.
Yeah, and Jono tonight, when he'd rush to be more popular than PS Chill. We're getting there, Gareth. We're trying, mate. We're nearly there. Remember, that's Europe. we're just a little country in OCE. Europe's massive, but no, we appreciate the support, mate. But yeah, no, with the likes of obviously Jono and Gully, it looks like it's going to be a really, really good season. And obviously, a few people were missing tonight. Obviously, Kalki was missing, Viper was missing, Churros Gamer. So a few big names were missing as well. DVR. And also a few more as well. So yeah, it looks like we're starting to get more and more drivers coming into the pack. And obviously, if there's more out there that want to get into those seats, then there's opportunity. But no, a really, really good finish for Gully tonight. He had to work for it. But I've got to say, though, I've got to take my hat off to the Ferraris. Darkin did a very, very good job trying to hold him up as much as he can to not get that win. It was looking very, very close. It just looked at a couple more corners. If Darkin would have held Gully behind, I don't think he would have got it.
I believe that I also believe Darkin had a great race. The thing is that I think that ruined that for him was those 10 seconds. And a driver just in his head behaves differently when he knows that he's got those 10 seconds on. And I think he did a great job trying to stop Gully from catching up to Jono or try to overtake. And as a teammate, you could not ask for a better thing to do. But unfortunately, the faster tyres at the end of the race prevailed. And it was really close, like 28 thousandths of a second is basically half a wig.
Yeah, 0.028. 14 on the grid, and that is the finish that we get at the end. And me and Andy, we just knew that was coming. We just knew it was coming. Last question for you. I don't want to hold you up. How is the McLaren team? Gareth, mate, really appreciate that. Really appreciate support, mate. How is the McLaren team feeling about Vegas now? Going, obviously, Division 1, you can relax. It's Singapore next week. And obviously, Gully has told you he wants it to rain. So praise the Lord and praise the gods and the angels and let it rain for him. But how is Vegas feeling from Division 2 to Division 6?
Well, I think the team is on a high morale. We caught up to Mercedes round 2. They're in the lead at the moment, but we're catching up. The morale is high. Everybody's practicing. Everybody's sharing and trying to get everybody on board and try to get better. Even I was actually shocked how many people turned up to the team practice last week, last Thursday, last Friday. Had actually 2 sessions, and yeah, we're just doing the best we can and let the fight continue. I think this is going to be a great season for everybody. For all the teams being so close and everybody's working, I think all TPs are putting extra amount of time just to get those drivers to stay and try to do the best they can for their team. I mean, I think as a TP, overalls is the biggest achievement you can get in Rush. So you can prove that you are the best team for that year. On the way, obviously, if you do well, you're going to fight for individual championship points and trophies. But as a whole, as a team, I think we are very united, and I'm liking the way the team looks at the moment. Yes, we are without a Division 1 driver, but I'm working on it. So as a whole, as a team, I'm really happy with everybody's performance at the moment, except mine.
Well,
I should pull more weight.
early days, mate, and don't worry about them Division 1, mate, because Garrus is on the job. He's recruiting as we speak. No, it's been a very good season. Do you start saying now round 3 you're starting to have a rival? Would you say that there's now starting to become a rival? If you were to say a team or a driver, who would you say is the one that you're competing against?
Yes, actually, after round 3, I have been collecting a lot of stats and stuff that I've seen over the 2 rounds. And after round 3, we will definitely know who our competitors are and then who's our individual rival sort of thing for every driver, what I think about it, and obviously what you guys as drivers in my team think about it. And yeah, we'll try to sort of set new goals, set new standings, set new achievements, and push towards it, and hopefully it will take us to victory again at the end of the season.
Well, yeah, if it does, you can show the guys the trophy as well. You know what it's like. You know what it's like to win. So, yeah, no, honestly, great to have you on board. Unfortunately, it was a shame that we couldn't get Sabine King because it would have been great to hear what he had to say. And no, I wish you all the best for the remainder of the week and your team. And let's go, McLaren!
Let's go. Thanks, Ashay. Thank you.
No worries, man. Andy, mate, who could ever tell you, right? Not even having a full grid would bring electrifying, adventurous, a close finish, a little bit of carnage, no bloody safety cars either at Jeddah of all tracks in round 3.
Yes, mate. No safety cars. Props to the guys that turned up tonight and raced around that track. It isn't easy. Certainly from when you're battling hard, and we saw so much hard battling tonight. Well done to the guys. I just want to pick up a little bit on talking about viewer numbers and league size. I think that from a Rush perspective, yeah, only 14 drivers, but wow, 60 viewers this evening. Just to put that into context for everybody that's still listening right now, I commentated on WOR Tier 3 and Tier 2 this last Thursday and Friday, and then I watched Tier 1 console divisions, and Tier 1 maxed out at 46.
Yay!
Tier 2 at 21, and Tier 3, I don't know, maybe 13. So let's just bring that into context here. We've got some of the quickest drivers, not just in Oceania, we've got some of the quickest drivers in the world still around here. So let's just remember that Rush Racing League is a force to be reckoned with. The drivers are a force. I love the fact that we had that, what felt like an extra competitive edge this evening. New names, new battles, new rivalries being formed as we speak. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, my friend. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate the support. And obviously we know how big WRR is, and obviously we can never take anything away from WRR or PSGL. And obviously we you know myself, we both commentate in WRR, and obviously are massive. And it is extremely difficult to try and get those quick drivers, because it is morning for the guys that are in halfway around the world, and a lot of these guys are in esports teams, and esports teams have regulations and have very, very strict terms and conditions that they don't really like letting their drivers drive in other leagues and stuff. But come on, just use this league as a practice. If you want to practice, best place to come. Best place to come. And obviously from tonight, I still can't believe it. 14 guys on the track, 60 viewers, 2 subscriptions, onboards, everyone, shots coming in, new drivers. It's what it's all about, fresh faces. Bringing in the fresh faces. As long as you're reading the rules and you're understanding what to do on track, then it's seriously competitive, and it's going to be great, Who knows next week? It could be someone completely different. It's amazing, and I love it. And this is why I run the league, and this is why I do it, and this is why I comms, and this is why I just get right into it. If Murray Walker was still alive, oh man, it's just the way he commentated. That's a role model for me, and just love doing it. And love doing it with yourself, Andy, and the rest of the other commentators. And I love to put on a good show for these guys as well, even though they probably do get very, very sick and tired of my voice 9 times out of 10.
Well, it's equally important. Not just the team principles are important, the drivers are important, but the people who tune in every single week and help us it almost inspires us to create something that people want to come in and return to week in, week out. It's really important for me on a personal level that I do my prep. I have a think about what we can talk about during the day, because I know that these guys tune in, they utilize their own hour and a half, 2 hours of their personal time to listen to me and you waffling on about some of these guys that are producing the real show out on track. And it's an absolute privilege to do commentary, certainly with you here at Rush Racing League and everybody else at Rush as well.
Cheers, Andy, mate. I really, really appreciate it. Right, well, guys, that is not over yet. We've got more action tomorrow night. So first up, we have, I'm just going to let you know, we have Div 4 up next tomorrow. So tune in, and Division 2. Don't want to miss it. I can't spell. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got more action tomorrow night. We've got Division 4 up next tomorrow at 5 p.m. AEDT, and then straight after that it is Division 2, and those two divisions are getting very, very juicy. Yes, they will be at Vegas. They will have the strip. There's going to be plenty of overtakes, and we've seen in Vegas every time on the last lap it goes to the last lap because of the tow. It's going to be great. It's going to be I'm looking forward to it. There's new drivers coming in all over the place. We've got new drivers reserving. We've got new drivers going into seats. It's great. I'm looking forward to it. And thank you very much for Spikes. I can't wait to see you on track as well, mate, and see what you can do. Andy, mate, as always, it's been a pleasure. It's great to have you back. We will be back next week at Singapore on Saturday night. It'll be me, myself, Mike, and Andy, as always. And Andy, as always, mate, thanks for your kind words. And starting off, going into February, it's going to look like it's starting to really gear up and be a great season.
Absolutely, mate. Can't wait for it. Let's go.
All right, well, just before I let you go, I always give you a quote to go. That is 3 different winners, ladies and gentlemen. 3 different winners. And I'm just going to let you know who those guys are. So, first up, we had TTV Abyss in Melbourne. Kota was Left for Dead. And now in Jeddah is Alpha Gully. Who is it going to be in Singapore? Rain or dry? We'll have to wait and see next Saturday. Good night.